Hello, everybody. This is a very strange time for me to be going live, but it is Friday morning. Yeah, I typically don't do anything in the morning, and I typically don't do anything during the week like this, but I am because why not? I ended up taking the day off. I had some stuff that I was doing. It is 5/10 day, May 10th. So at least in the United States, where we go 5 and then 10, not 10/5 like in other places of the world. So it is 5/10 day in the United States, which is just a stupid excuse for us to break out Datsun 510s. So I haven't done anything like this before. I've definitely shown a lot of pictures in the past on the Lamley Group blog, but I have not done something like this where we just walk through them. So I literally just grabbed a bunch of stuff, threw it down. I've got it I'm kind of surrounded by it. I'm doing this on the Lamley Extras channel because I have no idea how long this will go. So you can kind of watch now or watch later, pop in, pop out. We're just going to walk through what we've got. It's just going to be fun to see a wide variety of die-cast 510s. So, seeing some of you pop in from all over the world, that's awesome. Let's look at some 510s. You can see I have some Hot Wheels 510 coupes right here, and then I have the wagon over here. But it's not just that. Behind me, I've got some Greenlight. I've got some M2. I have some Tomica Limited Vintage. I definitely have Matchbox. You can see one of those right over there. I may not have all the 510s that are in my collection because I just grabbed what I kind of knew was around. So there's going to be some that somebody might say, oh, show this one, show that one. If I have it, and I know where it is, I might pull it out. But if I don't, maybe I don't even have it. There's a lot of 510s I don't have. I think I have all of the Tomica Limited Vintage. I think I have all of the Hot Wheels, at least, the standard, some variations I've been getting rid of. Okay, Harseb, I will show it. I will show it. Calm down a little bit. I think I have all of the wagons. And Greenlight, I definitely don't have all of them. And M2, I don't have all of them. All right. What should we do first? Should we walk through... Let's walk through Hot Wheels. It's the most common, it's the most well-known. And I've got some of the premium ones right out here, but I also have, and I'm going to have this off to the side, I have a lot of the basics as well. So I'm going to try and make this work. And I'll show all the wheel variations I have as well. So we'll just kind of walk through them. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to try and see what you've got. But this is the first edition of the Datsun 510, 2009, I believe, in blue. You can see it has the OH5 wheels. This is a Junimai casting, and this is what started it all, I think. But there's also, that's the first one. You got to have that one if you're a Datsun 510 collector. There's also this one. If you notice the difference, it's the wheels. This one has the full chrome OH5s. I only have one hand here, so this one has the chrome lipped OH5s. So variation there. Then it was recolored in black. There was a 5-spoke variation, a rare variation I used to have. I got rid of it because I'm kind of not collecting. Well, I'm not collecting at all the variations anymore. Official variation, like an official wheel switch, I will collect, but just one of these like factory wheel. I mean, when I say factory variation, meaning like they ran out of wheels or something like that, I don't collect anymore. Here's the last recolor in copper. Then I think we saw it the next year in 2000, what would these be, 2011, in this, I'm not really fond of that deco. It's a little bit busy. Ah, shoot, dropping stuff all the time. I should stop using just one hand here. Hold on a second. There, this is better. I get a little ambitious. So this one in white, then recolored in yellow. Like I said, I'm not real keen on that deco. Then we start getting into crazy amounts of wheel variations. I'm going to try and work these. These are just the basic ones. So this might have been 2012, I think. And actually, let's have it go the other way. So, and I'll even move in just a little bit. So this would have been, I think this is 2012. This one is a little bit better deco, but it starts with this one. This was a faster than ever, but then there was a wheel variation with the chrome OH5s. And I think this one actually you could only find, I think, in a Valentine's pack, if I remember correctly, the chrome OH5 variation. Then it was recolored in gray, also in faster than ever with the Trap 5 wheels. I like the color combination on this one. A lot of people don't like these wheels. I get it. They don't really fit the Datsun 510, yet at the same time, it was a faster than ever. That's the wheels they were using at the time. So then a lot of people know about this wheel variation. This one showed up on a special like Hot Wheels racing card that was found in Europe and at Target stores. It's ended up being a pretty sought after, hey Hector, a pretty sought after wheel variation on that special card. It's the J5 gold wheel, but there's one that's far more rare than that one, and it's this one. This one has the chrome Trap 5 wheel on it, and it was only found in just a few 9 packs or 10 packs at the time. I can't remember if it was 10 or 9 packs. But this chrome OH5, it's a toughie to find. I found it in a store and I bought it, and I'm glad I did. It was like one of those that I thought would be fairly common, but ended up not being at all. So that's a rare wheel variation. Okay, I think that's the last time we saw it in basics until this year. The casting's been modified. It no longer has a separate grill piece. So you'll see if this ever is in basics, this will be the casting that's used now. It's just, like I said, slightly modified. Not slightly, pretty drastically modified. We saw it in red, and then we saw, of course, the Kmart variation in black. So those are all the basic versions of the Datsun 510, but there's been some premiums as well. I've got still in this case, we have the cool classics. There was the Hot Wheels Heritage. This one's from my wall display because it has Real Riders on it. So I have the Real Rider wall display model. That's not a deco that I'm real fond of as well. Then, I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, I haven't gotten to the super premium stuff yet, but we will. It's been in Car Culture. That one's roughly based on a off-road deco, even though it's not an off-road version. We had the second in Car Culture from Japan Historics 2 in kind of that ghost BRE deco. And then I guess I'd probably go for this one, which is not only Car Culture Premium, but it's also RLC exclusive. This is from the RLC Car Culture set, the number 35 BRE. So I'm definitely not going in order here, but you can see just so many 510s. In the middle of that, there is the Hot Wheels. I think this is a Kmart mail-in. And then, I didn't even think of them. This one would be the number 68 just recently released BRE Team Transport. So that's also a Car Culture version. So we've had 4 Car Culture 510s. I mean, this thing is, for a casting that was a peg warmer at first, this thing has been in everything. 4 times in Car Culture, 4 times in the RLC, and then we've had it in Vintage Racing. So I think you take this, put that here. Then here is probably my favorite of all. It's the BRE Vintage Racing, which that I don't want to drop because I don't want to have to replace it. So that's probably the most famous of all. And then that, of course, leads in nicely to the second BRE, the RLC version in the Spectre Flame Red. Thanks, Brad. Happy 510 day to you as well. Showing off some cars that I'm sure you have. I think this was the second RLC version. This one with the opening hood. Right there. We've seen the opening hood, I think, 3 more times. Membership version in Spectre Flame Olive. This one still is the only one that has the 2-piece Real Rider Neo wheels. And then, I like the matte black roof on this one. That one's a bit underrated at this point. I think all 510s are just, they all get so lumped together. And then, of course, the RLC pink version, which is really cool. I have one carded back here. This is the only RLC party car, RLC convention car that is numbered. They typically don't number them, but this one they did. Yeah, so the pink RLC is very cool. Hello, Off Rimits. I'm saying hi back to you in the UK. Convention cars. I think we've had this one. The pink one was obviously debuted at the convention. And this one actually was, the first version was shown by Van over at the RLC, which is an interesting, very cool looking version. But this is the one that was released in the convention. I think that's all of the 510 sedans except for one, which is a really special one. In fact, Hot Wheels Luke on Instagram shared this. This is a custom. This is one of the coolest models in my collection. Just take a look at how detailed this is. Hot Wheels Luke is one of the best Hot Wheels customizers there is, because not only do his customs look good in pictures, but they look good in person. And you can't say that for every custom. And he gave this to me as a gift a couple years ago at JCCS. And like I said, I have said this before. I don't want you to send me your customs because I don't have room for them. But this one, I am so happy to have. You can see like even the interior's detailed. It is just gorgeous. And yes, it's slammed, but it rolls. Yeah, there you go. So always a cool 510, and it's always fun to break that one out whenever I get a chance. All right. That's 12 minutes on one 510. Man, I got to speed it up. Just makes sense then to go to this one, right? This is the wagon, debuted in Boulevard. It's Junimai's wagon, 510 wagon. And you guys are very familiar with that one. If I take my little case here and I switch it around, then I can go to these. So 510 wagon, then all of a sudden it returns as, or it goes to 2013 Boulevard in that beautiful green. Then comes to the main line. So this one has his deco, June's deco on the wagon that he was using at the time, just not the color. And you can see on this one too, it has JNC. It's a Japanese nostalgic car. It has the JCCS logo also in blue, and then above that, JDM Legends. So we've seen JDM Legends, those guys. I was just at their shop filming a video, which I'll post next week, I think. But very cool car. And then, of course, we all know, at least we should, that this one was also a super treasure hunt. There's the TH in the back. So very, very cool super treasure hunt that is on everybody's list. I actually ended up finding 3 of those, one in a Kmart case and then 2 at Target, which is cool. Next year comes back to the main line with kind of a Datsun racing deco. You can see this one also has then the Kmart exclusive, JCCS as well, JNC as well, and JDM Legends. The Kmart exclusive in black is just awesome. I think that one really trumps the yellow one. Going through all of the mainline releases, then we didn't see it for a couple of years because it was in some premium releases. Then it shows up as the Surf Patrol model. This was a couple of years ago. And if you were super lucky, you found the Zamak, which is cool too. Don't know if I like the yellow rims, but for a Surf Patrol car, it actually makes sense. That's it for basic. We've seen other basic releases like the mystery model. We're gonna have another mystery model coming very soon, but this mystery model is one of my favorites. I think it's one of the best decos on the Datsun 510. Just this kind of like same kind of like surf beach theme. Then we have the recent 510, the Speed, what is it? Can't remember. Speed Blur 510. This is also another just awesome deco. Leeway did that one. Leeway probably did this one too, I'm imagining. So those are all the basic versions. Now we already looked at the Super Treasure Hunts, but premium now, I mean, my goodness. Same thing, not as rich in terms of amount of releases, but we've got the convention model from about maybe 3 or 4 years ago, LA convention. Then we have the Brazil / Mexico convention model. Then last year's LA convention model. So 3 convention models. And then in terms of event models, we have this one, which is part of the, which is being sold at all of the Legends Tour events this year. So 4 event models, that's the stronghold for the wagon, right? And then what we already showed the Boulevard, there was couple other premium releases. Of course, there's Japan Historics 1, an Advan Deco, I talk the most in these videos. Hello, Andre from the Philippines. Then, of course, the 50th anniversary from last year, 50th favorites. Oh, this is an exhausting video. This is tiring to do. You can use this as a reference because I'm just showing so many of these, right? That's all the Hot Wheels. I think I've shown them all. I don't think I've skipped any of everything that's been released, right? So I'm going to close that up. Let's stay with the Mattel theme. And let's go. How about the 510 Rally from Matchbox? There is the first release from a couple of years ago in orange. Kind of cool that they did this with all of the top deco and no side deco. John, I know. It's exhausting to do the video. I'm not complaining. I love having them. That's why I broke them out. But yeah, it is tiring to go through these. You start realizing how many there are. So that was the first release. There's also the original. I mean, this was what it was supposed to look like with the disc wheels, but it had 2 different wheels on it. So early release had the 6-spoke, and then the later release had the disc wheels. Then, of course, this is probably the best time to break this out. They did a special version where they added, so you can see it had all the same deco on the top that the basic had, but then they added all this side deco, all this racing deco, and you can see the Matchbox logo, Japanese nostalgic car, JCCS, and then even the Lamley Group. You can see it better on this side. Even the Lamley Group logo is on that one. There on the back. This was done. You can see it's just got this awesome case that it's in. Abe Lugo kind of put this together, and there's only, I think, there's, well, there's the number on. I think they did less than 100 of these, and This is a very, very cool another one of my prized possessions. It was given to the custom winners and then some VIPs from Nissan. That casting. All right, so that's the Rally. Then we had, I'll do the one premium that we have to, but this is last year's version, 2018 Datsun 510 Rally. And then of course we have this year's Datsun 510 Rally. Which one did I forget? Harsaheb. I hope I'm saying your name right. So that one sits on the white 6 spokes. Yeah, there is one other 510 that I have not shown, the Matchbox Rally 510. It's this one. This is, oh, I see. You're talking about the Junimai video. I'll do it one day. I've got some stuff. Well, that part 2 will be even better. Adrian, I saw your message. I don't know if anybody is interested. This is the convention model from last year. And this one was done as a nostalgic deco. So it might look a little different for a 510 Rally, and the wheels might look a little weird that they're gray. But this was done as a tribute to the old regular wheels that Matchbox debuted with back in the 60s, 50s and 60s. So fully detailed. That's why it's got this interesting gold color. Tons of racing deco on it, which I think at first you're like, it's kind of busy, but then you look at it and you're like, actually, you know, as a tribute model, it's fantastic. And doing this on a racing car, you can put any deco you want on it. So 65th anniversary last year, and that was a way to celebrate. So very, very cool model. And I think I've got one. You can't really see it, but it's in the background right there. I have another one cased. So there is that. That is the Matchbox. Okay, we're done with Mattel. I don't have to, I can just show models now because I don't know the backgrounds of a lot of them. But why don't we go to Greenlight? And I'm just going to work through these. You've seen the BRE. I think the Greenlight version may be the most realistic in terms of the actual stance and look. So I don't have a ton of Greenlight models. But this one I really wanted. Someone asked about Tomica reviews. I'm going to show you some Tomica Limited Vintage Datsuns here in a second, or Nissans, depending on what they're named. By the way, if you've seen what Tomica Limited Vintage is previewing at the toy show in Japan right now, they're doing an R32, they're doing an Acura, they're doing, I guess it would probably be called a Honda because it's Tomica Limited Vintage. More Hondas. It's pretty awesome. I'll try and show some pictures on the blog. Green Machine. So that's a unique one. I wanted to have that one too. And then I'll just walk through some of the others that I have. There's some interesting decos on this one. I really do like this Greenlight version because I just like its stance. Pennzoil. These were some hobby exclusives. Off-road racing. And then I think this was just one that they did as for kind of fun. This is actually not a TLV. This is Greenlight. There, see, Greenlight. But I do have the TLV. And I'll show it in just a second. Okay, those are all of the Greenlight 510s. There's a million others, but I don't have them. But those are the ones I have and I like. Let's just break through some. These are definitely not in order. Here's M2. I love the Advan and the Yokohama. I think this one was, I think the Advent and Yokohama were hobby only releases. This one I think was the second Walmart release. There's the Chase version, a little dusty. I have these in a drawer, these M2s. This, I believe, is one of the first releases in a more stock stance. M2, what's cool about M2 is that they really do like to make their models kind of somewhat interchangeable. So they can do some different things with them, like do a stock stance. And then here's the Chase. I'm looking here. I've got some others that are kind of buried in this drawer. Let's see if I can. That's why I do these on the Lamley Extras channel, because sometimes I can be a little less organized, which is fine with me. I cannot. Trying to get this one out. There we go. Yeah, Jada did do some 510s. I don't have them. Probably should. These M2s are cool. What happens when you take these cars out is you got to put them back. And then here's a couple I haven't even opened yet. So, oh, maybe I did. Wait, no, is that one? Oh, I'm confused. So there's this one. I think this one's a little bit different, right? And then I have the Super Chase that I haven't opened as well. So it's raw with the red tires, which is kind of nice. Okay. Okay, we're almost done here because that's the M2. Those are the Greenlights. That's the ones I have. Like I said, I think there are others. I know there's others from both M2 and Greenlight, quite a few others, but that's what I've got. But here we go on, let's get really serious here for a second. All right, so now the two-door 510. Now, they will call this one, they call the Datsun Bluebird 510 sedan, Tomica Limited Vintage. But they don't call them all because, you know, they're doing what was made in Japan, so they'll go with the Japan name. But the two-door, they actually did call it the 510 Bluebird. And I do have all of these. So I think they've only done a couple of the two doors. Let that ride for just 1 second. Oops. So I think everything else that I've got is four-door. So you start going through these, and this is where it's kind of fun. You just gotta, sometimes you have to look at the grill and see all the details here. because they will all be a little bit different, just depending on the year, the make. Well, make, you know, but just like sometimes there'll be some differences in the grill. I think these are about the same. But sometimes white wall tires, sometimes hubcaps. See, this one actually is a left-hand drive. So some of them are right-hand drives. This one's a left-hand drive. If you look at the base here, so this one says 510 sedan as well. So, oh, that's a four-door. So they'll change the names on this. This is so those are the white wall tires. Now we have, oops. Love the olive green. Check out the steering wheel. See how different that is. Isn't that cool? And the colors on these, I just love. You got those Datsun hubcaps on there too. So different shade of orange right there, and then more hubcaps, just more cool detailed hubcaps. Silver. Again, super detailed. I'll actually, like, look at the back of that, and you can see the interior is detailed. I mean, it just, Tomica Limited Vintage, you just got to dig in, and you're just like, wow. They just kind of blow your mind every time. You may think you already saw this one, but you didn't. Take a look at the steering wheel. Take a look at the side it's on. Black interior, red with the white wall tires. You realize, oh, it's different. The one you just saw is actually left-hand drive. Steering wheel is different, and then different hubcaps. Try and put these together. You can see the difference. You can see different in the rear. Here, try and there. Difference in the rear. This is why Tomica Limited Vintage is next level, because everything has to be replicated perfectly. Dark green to match the red. And then how about this beauty with the vinyl top? Then you get into the more utility style cars. So you want to do a full tour of the 510, you use the Tomica Limited Vintage, right? How about a radio version? This one has an antenna that I have not added. It's just in the box. And then this is actually not a police. This would be a security car. Police would be black on the bottom, this part, and then white on the top. So this is actually a security car, I believe. And then, of course, you can't forget the rally Datsuns that Tomica Limited Vintage did. So I don't know if this is in order, but they did two versions, one from like a movie, and then one that was more of the racing version. So this one sits on Steely's. The number 90 and the number 4. Here, I can put them together if you want me to. So you can see how, again, the difference in the grills. I'm sorry, I'm trying to, there. Everything is different if it needs to be. So Tomica Limited Vintage, they are expensive, but they are worth it. All right, let's finish off on our little 5-10 day celebration with the other, just 3 more models. You do the sedan, you got to do the wagon, and Tomica Limited Vintage has also done the 510 wagon. They have not done that many. I think they have to have seen how popular the Hot Wheels version is and wonder if they should do more. But until now, they've only done 2 main releases and 1 like special hobby release. So these were released at the same time, the red and this, like, I guess you'd call it gray or silver. But these are full stock, like, you know, they don't sit lowered. These are exactly as I remember Datsun wagons growing up in the 70s. What I saw in the 70s and 80s, this is what a Datsun wagon looked like, even though these are the Japanese spec. And then they did 1 police version. This was a hobby exclusive. I think we did it, guys. I think those are all the 510s. That's a lot. The 510s in my collection, not nearly what's out there. There's a kajillion. And I'm happy. I think we've covered all Hot Wheels, all Matchbox, all Tomica Limited Vintage, some Greenlight, some M2, and then there's a million other brands from Japan, from the United States, from Europe that have done the 510 as well. Oh, I think I got one other I can show you. I forgot about this. How about Yacht? This is a brand that doesn't make... I actually got this from Japan. Yacht is toy spelled backwards. There's not much known about these models, but look what they did, and that's one that would be one to find. Never found it, but some of you big toy nerds like me know about that one. But it's a rough casting, but it is a 510. So I have that one, the police version, and then I have this Yacht Handsome Car toy set with a plastic 510 on it. I don't even know what this was made in Taiwan. I don't know anything about it. I don't even know if there's a year on it. But yeah, I've got the Yachts. Pretty cool, right? Forgot about those. I'm glad I remembered before I signed out, because I would have remembered later and been annoyed that I forgot. So let's finish off with that. There's the Yacht, Tomica in the background. That was fun. That was almost 40 minutes. That's what happens when you do a showcase on the 510. I may have more 510s than anything else in my collection. Maybe the Skyline supersedes it, but I'm not entirely sure. You have to count all those Tomica Limited Vintages, but that's a lot. Watch this now. You guys have all been watching it with me, or watch it later. Hope you enjoy it. Use it as a reference. It's not the most exciting video, but there's another one on the Lamley channel dropping tonight. It's the Larry Wood 50-year set that will drop tonight. It's already ready, and we'll hit it, I think, at 7 p.m. Mountain Time. All right, guys. Happy